Pantechelearning. This is Divyanjali from Pantech. Today we have come up to the 7th day session of our masterclass Datascience 2.0 version. Firstly, I would like to welcome all the participants to the session. Very pleasant evening all my dear participants. Before starting the session, I would like to give an announcement. So, attendance form, it is very regular thing. I am telling in every session, right? So, you will be receiving the attendance form by 7:30. Next, you are going to get the e-certificate for the masterclass if you attend 25 days of the session. Fine. Without any delay, we will move on to the session now. So what we are going to get in the internship? So you can get, if you register for 1 month internship, you will be getting all the different PPTs and videos for 3 months access and 10 plus projects, videos and any material, okay, along with certificate. Yes. So once again, I would like to tell all the participants, whoever are interested in enrolling your internship, just click on this link given in the description, use this coupon welcome DS2, and with this amount you can just register for 1 month internship. So today's topic is Seaborn and scikit library implementation. What is this Seaborn? What is this scikit library? So I have already discussed you about this, my dear participants, that we are having few different library files which are very much important for any programs, okay, for any project developments, okay, for any implementations also. So what are they? First one, Pandas. Second one, NumPy. Third one, Matplotlib. Fourth one, Seaborn. Fifth one, scikit library file. I repeat the statement. For building any projects regarding this machine learning, AI, deep learning, OpenCV, for all these, we need few library files which are very much important. What are they? First one, Pandas library file. Second one, Matplotlib library file. Third one, NumPy library file. Fourth one, Seaborn library file, and the fifth one is scikit library file. Okay, what are these library files? We already have discussed, right? So let me know first of all, my dear participants, please do reply. What do you mean by pandas? Pandas used for? Yes, please do reply. Pandas. You already know that it is an important library file, right? So why we are using this Pandas library file? Yeah, I'm waiting for your response. My dear participants, this is not your regular classroom session. Okay? I'm kindly informing each and every participant that this is not your regular classroom session. So please make the session interactive. What is the use of Pandas library file? Very good. Pandas is used for data accessing, input data accessing purpose. Okay? Fine. Next is NumPy. NumPy used for? NumPy library file used for? I need response from each and every participant. NumPy used for? Yes, NumPy used for numerical values accessing purpose and for some numerical calculation purpose generally. Okay, fine. The third one is Matplotlib. Matplotlib used for graphical visualization purpose. Why we have to visualize graphically? Because if we visualize the data in graph means the system, the algorithm or anything, the machine can understand the graphical data in the easiest way. That's why we will visualize each and every attribute data, every information, every input in graphical format. Okay, fine. So the fourth and fifth library files are, you can see on the screen, right? Seaborn and scikit. Sklearn library file. Okay, what is this Seaborn and Sklearn library file representing? Seaborn represents customization purpose. Customization in the sense color indication, size, length. All these are customization. What do you mean by this customization? Generally, the word. It means nothing but making our graphical plot in an attractive way. Okay, that is what we call it as customization. Okay. Next one is scikit library file or Sklearn library file. Scikit library file basically used for machine learning or any algorithms implementation, not implementation, accessing of algorithms or accessing of any models or any type of techniques, machine learning, deep learning techniques. For that purpose, we use this particular scikit library file. Okay, fine. So before this, you have to install a software. What is the software we are going to work? That I have already told you previously also. Okay. Once again, I will tell you. The software we are going to work is Anaconda Navigator software. Okay. How to install that and all? I will tell you now. Go to Google Chrome. Just type Anaconda Navigator download for Windows. Click on enter. You can see here Anaconda distribution. Click on this. Now can you see here download symbol? Just click on this download. It will be generally downloaded in a file format. Okay. Now double click on that particular file which has been downloaded. Now a window will be opened. Now just click on next, next, next and then click on finish. It will be installed in your system. Once again I am telling, go to Google Chrome, type Anaconda Navigator download for Windows. Just click on Anaconda distribution. Now you can see here download symbol. Click on that. It will be downloaded in a file format. Now double click on that file. A window will be appeared. Now just click on next, next, next and then click on finish. It will be installed. Okay. Now go to start all programs and type Anaconda. Anaconda Navigator. Click on open. It will first open the command prompt. Then it will redirect us into the home page of Anaconda Navigator. It is opening. It is a very big software tool. It will open slowly. Let us wait. Okay. My dear participants, it is intimating for all the participants that if you are having any queries regarding the session, please let me know in the comment section, so that I will get back to each and every query by the end of the session. Okay. The software is opening. Let us wait. So in this Anaconda Navigator software, we will have different editor windows basically. Among all that, you have to launch Jupyter Notebook. Why only Jupyter Notebook is because it is like line by line execution is possible. Okay, it is easy for implementation. Okay, you can see here this is the home page. Here you can see different editor windows: RStudio and Notebook, PowerShell. Okay, PyCharm, VS Code, everything, Jupyter Lab. These are all the editor windows. Among all that, you have to launch Jupyter Notebook. Okay, click on launch. It will be installed. Now close this software completely. Okay, completely you close it off. Now refresh. Again, now go to start. Now type Jupyter directly. Okay, click on open. It will open the command prompt in this way and it will redirect us into the home page of Jupyter Notebook editor window. So it is going to open. Let us just wait. This is the home page of Jupyter Notebook editor window file. Okay. Here first you have to select the location basically. Any location you can select. Let it be desktop, let it be downloads, documents, anywhere. Generally I will be preferring downloads. Now go to new, select Python 3. I hope everyone is following. Once again I am telling. After opening Jupyter Notebook, click on location, select that completely. Now you can see what are all the files available in that particular location. Okay. Now you have to click on this new, then you have to click on Python 3. It will open the window in this format, coding window in this format. Okay. Now let us see few examples of Seaborn and scikit library file. Okay. Fine. Let us go back to the presentation. So first of all, let me write the heading here. I hope everyone can see the screen clearly, right? Is the screen visible and is my voice is audible clearly? Yes? Am I audible clearly to all the participants? Don't worry about installation. Okay? Please don't worry about installation. We will give you the link to add that software to. Okay? Don't worry about that. By the end of the session, we will give you. Don't worry. Okay? Yes. It's audible, right? Fine. So the title of the library file is Seaborn library file and scikit library file. Fine. Next. Now I will start giving the examples. You also please type along with me. Yeah. First of all, let us know what this Seaborn library file is. Yeah. Seaborn library file. It is a Python data visualization library based on Matplotlib. Why we are using Matplotlib? For graphical visualization. This Seaborn is making our graph so attractive. So obviously, this Seaborn is used for Matplotlib, right? So that is what it is intimating. It provides high-level interface for drawing attractive and informative statistical graphs. So visualizing the data in statics graphs. Okay. It provides default styles and color palettes to make statistical plots more attractive. Seaborn aims to make visualization the central part of exploring and understanding the data. It provides dataset-oriented APIs, address peripheral interface, so that we can switch between different visual representations of same variables. For like understanding our input in a better manner, we will visualize the data. Fine. Different categories of plot in Seaborn. Plots are basically used for visualizing the relationship between the variables. Those variables can be completely numerical or any category of information, let it be any class or group of information, something like object-oriented characters, anything it might be. Okay. It divides the plot into below categories. What are the different plots? This plot, you can see here two categories we have given: relational plots, categorical plots. Okay. Relational plots is used to understand the relation between two variables. If we wanted to know the relation between any two variables, then we use this relational plots. Categorical plots are, it deals with categories of variables. Like we can use different types of variables over here. We can analyze different types of variable information. Okay. Fine. Next, distribution plots, regression plots. Distribution plots are used for examining univariate and bivariate distributions. Uni means one, bi means two. Okay. So two types or one type of variable. Distribution plots are used to analyze a single variable or double variables. Regression plots. These are used in Seaborn, which are intended to add a visual guide that helps to emphasize patterns in a data set. What type of patterns are present in my input data set? That is what it will be displayed. So EDA is nothing but exploring the data. analyzing the data. Okay, fine. Next comes matrix plots, multi-plot grids. Matrix plots is an array of scatter plot. Scatter means scatter plotting represents, we will represent the data in graph in terms of something like in terms of holes or in terms of circles. Okay, fine. Multi-plot grids are useful approach which is used to draw multiple instances of same plot on different subsets of the dataset. Fine. How to install Seaborn library file? Here is the command. Pip install Seaborn library file. How to install? This is the command. You can use this pip install Seaborn in Python ideally as well. If you install over there, it is in Python ideally. We have already installed Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib library. Now we have to install Seaborn and scalar library file. Okay. In Anaconda, you have to install like this. Conda install Seaborn. Okay. Fine. Basic plots using Seaborn. So what are the basic plots? Let us see now. Distance plot. It is used to plot a histogram with some other variations like KDE plot and rug plot. So here is an example. We will take the same example now. So my dear participants, please do the example along with me. So what I have done here, so sorry for the interruption. Yeah, so sorry for the interruption. Here you can see import. Import is a keyword. NumPy is a library file used for numerical values accessing purpose, and it is represented as NP variable. Okay. Now import Seaborn as SNS variable. Next, SNS means Seaborn. So with the help of the Seaborn, I have represented the graph as some style with some style. Okay. Random states I have taken some 10. Now size I have given. Next, going to plot my data in distance plot. Okay. Now, how to run this? In Jupyter Notebook, which you can see on the screen right now. In Jupyter Notebook, how you have to work? Here you can see a rectangular box, right? This is called as a cell. If you want to save the data which is present in particular cell, you have to click on this save and checkpoint. If you want to add more number of cells, then click on this plus symbols. You can see number of cells are getting added, right? If you want to delete any cell information, click on the cell, click on scissors. It will be deleted, okay? Now copy paste in the same format. Next, we can run the code in two ways. One is click on Shift plus Enter on your keyboard. The other way is click on cell, click on run. While running, you can see the multiplication symbol, right? After running, it will give me the output below the cell itself. As we are interpreting the code line by line, that's why we are using this Python language. Okay? So this Jupyter is making our code or our implementation so easy, right? So you can see this is the graphical representation. Counting the data, information has been given. Okay? Now, let us go back to the presentation. So this is what the output is, right? How many of you are doing along with me? You can please type the code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 lines of code. That's it. How many of you finished installation first of all? If you find any difficulty in installation, you can do it online also, but it's preferable to do in this Jupyter Notebook only. If it is not installed, please install today. Tomorrow also we have the session, right? Tomorrow also we are going to work in this Jupyter Notebook only. Okay? I hope everyone is understanding. How many of you finished program? How many of you finished? Yes, my dear participants. How many of you done? I know there might be few issues with the installation and time also. I can understand that. No issues, as this is first and second class only. No issues for that, okay? You can just install the software after the session also. For now, you can just listen the session. Whoever have installed Let me now know how many of you done this. How many of you got output? Yes, how many of you got output? Please raise your hands. How many of you got output? I need response from all the participants. Yeah, okay. You are getting some output, you are getting, right? Graphical representation, that is fine, okay? So here is my graphical representation. Next, let us go back to the PPT. Yeah. Next is line plotting the information. The line plot is used, or it is one of the most basic plot in Seaborn library. This plot is used to visualize the data in the form of time series, like in continuous manner. If x value increases, y value also increases. In that format, it has to be plotting the data. So we already have the example. Please type the code, everyone. You cannot do copy paste like me. I can understand that. That's why I am waiting for your reply. Okay. So import Seaborn as SMS. If you want, even I will type the same code here. Import Seaborn as SNS variable. SNS dot set of. Please, whatever the instructions that are displayed, type same instructions. Okay. No need to worry. Type same instructions. Style. What is the style I am giving here? Dark color. Okay. Next line. fMRI. This is just a variable where I am going to access or load the input data set of fMRI. Now go to the next cell. SNS dot line plot of x is equal to times point, y is equal to signal, q is equal to region. Please type along with me, my dear students, my dear participants. Event. Next is data is equal to fMRI. This is what the information, right? Now do one thing, just put this in comment format. Now you run the code. Seaborn has no attribute line plot. Okay, 1 minute here. Yeah, now you will get. Did you get the output? Now let me know how many of you got output. Please see the instructions clearly and type the instructions. You will get the output for sure. Okay. Yes, how many of you got output? Please raise your hands. My dear participants, this is not your regular classroom session. So make the session interactive. If there is any installation problem, don't worry. You can rewind the session afterwards. Then you can install slowly in your system by today. Tomorrow onwards, we will do the work in Jupyter Notebook. This is just library file examples only. Okay? I hope everyone understands it. Everyone got the output? Very few are raising your hands. Everyone raise it. Whoever got output. Fine. Let us go back to the presentation. We got this output. We should also know what this output is, right? We got some output, but what this output is? What we have mentioned in the code, we have imported library file Seaborn as SNS. Next to style, I have mentioned as dark color indication. Next, loading the data. Okay. Next is plotting the data in line plot. Okay. So x to be having some time plotting. So you can see this is the time plot. Okay. Y should be the signal. Okay. This is the signal range. Next, Q taken as the region. This is what the region. Okay. Style is taken as event. According to the event, it is changed. Next, data is taken from FMRI, healthcare. Okay. So here you can see a rectangular box, right? This is called as a legend. Once again, I am telling you, a rectangular box which you can see over here. This is called as a legend. Okay. A very small block which indicates what are the different attributes or features that are represented in the graph. Okay. Once again, I am telling you. Here you can see a rectangular box. This is called as a cell. Okay. So in this legend block, it will describe what are all the features or what are all the attributes that are going to display on the graph. Am I clear? Am I clear with the point? Yes. I know it is a late hour for you people. After having your regular education, academics time, or having some chit chat with your friends, coming back to again to listen the session, it is difficult. But if you do along with me, it will be easy. You will learn something. Okay. So, how many of you got output now? How many of you got? Okay. Okay, fine. Everyone is getting. Okay. So, the next slide is LM plot. So, it is another most basic plot. It shows a line representing a linear regression model along with the data points in 2D space, and x and y can be set as the horizontal and vertical labels respectively. Okay, so here with the help of the Seaborn, generally what we will do is we are going to plot our input data in different formats, in different styles, okay, in different customizations. Yeah, import Seaborn as SNS. With the help of this, I am setting the style as ticks. In the form of a tick, it should come the graph. Now loading the data set. Next, LM plot the data. So you can see this is called linearly proportional. Usually for machine learning regression type, we use such algorithm or such plotting. Okay, this is linear regression. X, Y variables, plotting the data in linear graph. Please type the instructions. I'll give you 1 minute for this. Only 4 lines are there, right? So please make it faster. Only 1 minute. Let me see the time as well. Okay, let me tell you the time now. 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40. Which participant is going to give me the first answer for this? Who is going to get the output? 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, please raise your hands. How many of you got? Very good, very good. Most of the students are answering. Most of the participants are answering. You are understanding, right, how to implement. That's enough. Let us go back to the presentation. So we got this plot, linear plotting. Okay. Next, Seaborn plots. So any program or any implementation you consider, these are the first 5 library files we have to import basically. Okay. This last one you can just take it off, but here why we have given is, as we are using some data set, right? In that data set, what are the input attributes we are having? That names here it is displayed, okay? Anagrams, ANSCOME, attention, brain networks, car crashes, like that. Fine. Let us now move on to the next slide. Loading the input data set, okay? what we have done here is import Seaborn as SNS variable. Now load the input data set of car crashes. Okay, so it will internally take this data set basically. Now taking the complete data into a very small variable. Now I am printing df.header function. It will describe the first 5 rows of information with all the columns. Let us now see how it is going to give me the output. Okay. Please type the instructions along with me. Import Seaborn as SNS variable. Next, df is equal to SNS dot load underscore dataset of car underscore crashes. Okay. Now print the df variable dot header function represents. It will give me the first 5 rows of data with all the columns that are present in my input. Okay. Let me run the code. Yeah. Here is quotation marks error. Now you take. Done? Everyone understanding? Yeah, I hope everyone is understanding, right? Everyone understanding? Raise your hands. Am I clear till now? Am I clear till now? Clear. If you are having doubts also, you can just let me know in the comments. I will get back to you by the end of the session. So we got this output. This also we got. Next, styling and themes in Seaborn. Matplotlib library is highly customizable, but it can be like so hard for us to tweak the right setting to get an attractive and good looking plot. Unlike Matplotlib, Seaborn comes packed with customized themes which is already present, okay, and a high level interface for customizing and controlling the Matplotlib figures, whatever the plots. From Matplotlib library, here is the example. From Matplotlib library, import pyplot module as plt variable. Next, df is equal to SNS.load dataset of car crashes. This input data it is taking automatically. Okay, by default it is considering the input data. When I apply the header function, it will give me the first 5 rows. This we already got. Right? Next. From Matplotlib library, I am importing pyplot module as plt variable. Next, import Seaborn as SNS variable. Now, plotting the data in scatter plots where I have mentioned the speed and alcohol, speeding and alcohol information, speeding, alcohol. These two are already present in my input. Okay, that data only I am visualizing in graph format. When I plot the data, you can see here. It is called scatter matrix or scatter plotting. Okay. Fine. So this output we already got. Next, styles in Seaborn. We are going to check it different. This also we got actually. The same product scatter plot, right? Fine. Next one. So the above two figures shows the difference in default Matplotlib and Seaborn plots. What is the difference? It is just like customization only differs. Okay, the representation of data is same, but there is a slight difference in styling of these plots. Okay, you see the graph here and here. What is the difference you can watch? Background has been changed here, right? So that is what, and grid format has been mentioned, right? This is what the basic difference. Okay. Next, Seaborn supports various themes that can make styling the plots easy and save a lot of time. Using this set style function of Seaborn, we can set any of the themes available on Seaborn library file. So dark grid, white ticks. These are the different different themes we are having, we can use anything from Seaborn library file. So themes, we will apply different themes now. If possible, please do type along with me itself. From Matplotlib library, I have imported pyplot module as plt variable. Next, import Seaborn as SMS variable. Now plot the information in scatter plotting, taking the speeding and alcohol as my attributes data, features data. Now the background should be of white grid. Next, when I plot the data, you can see white grids have been formed at the back end, right? Fine. Let us go back to the presentation. This is what our output, right? Next, Seaborn styles, dark one. Now we are going to apply dark style. The same code only, but I am using one only different. The theme is different, that's it. Right? The theme only, the only one line we are giving something new. That to one word. Here white grid, here dark. That's it. Okay? Next give only white now. Now only give white. So you can see it will be displayed in plain format, plain page format at the back. It got displayed. Next, ticks as my theme. How I can get the theme ticks? The same example only. Only one word we are changing. Theme only we are changing. Okay. Right? Ticks. This is what the ticks. Next, Seaborn styles. Okay, having a limited number of themes might not be that great as we always wish for some flexibility. That is true. Whatever the limited we are having, we are not sufficient with that. We are not enough with it. We want something more, right? So, keeping this in mind, these styles are customizable and can be customized by passing a dictionary of parameters to set style function of Seaborn library file. Parameters available are viewed on access style function. So, please type this code, everyone. I'll wait for that. Please, everyone, type the code. Yes, everyone. Only 3 lines are there, right? Everyone. Go slow. Now, also you will tell same. We have huge amount of content to be covered in each and every session. Okay? So this is the average speed only. Please do follow. Try to follow at least. At least you can listen if you are not having any systems also. Okay? Yeah, done with the example. What is the output you got here? What are the different styles we are having? We will get here. Axis, face color, edge color, grid, axis below, label color, face color, color, line style, text color, x tick color, y tick direction, x tick direction, patch, image, font family, liberation, sorry. Next, axis spines, left, bottom, right, top. So these are the different styles, customized styles we are having in Seaborn library file. That too in setting the style. Okay. Right. So this output we got. Next. These are all our different styles. Okay. That's it. Okay. Changing the values of any of these parameters will alter the plot style. If we change any value of the particular parameter, it will change the plotting, right? Style of the plot also will be changed. And thus we can try various things out to make our plots really different and make it something like attractive. Okay, so we are having the example, right? Type the same code in Jupyter notebook. I'll wait for your typing. Type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lines of code. maybe 2 minutes at least. Within 2 minutes, please do finish. I hope everyone is following, right? Please type the instructions from Matplotlib. Import pyplot as plt variable. Next, import Seaborn as SNS variable. Next, plt means plot. Dot scatter plotting the data of speeding and alcohol attributes, taking the data from df variable. Style we have set it as dark grid, and grid color we have given some font. Okay. When I display the plotting, done with this. Yes. You got the output in the same format. If you give the same instruction, you will get. No. You are facing trouble. You can take the snap. Try after some time also. Okay. Context. Seaborn allows us to control the individual elements of the graphs, and thus we can control the scale of these elements or the plot by using set_context function. These are 4 preset templates. Okay, for context we are having these templates like paper, notebook, talk and poster. Okay. For notebook we will see first of all how we are able to organize. Import Matplotlib, pyplot modulus PLT, Seaborn as SNS variable, scatter plotting the data of speeding and alcohol attributes. Style we have mentioned something like dark. Next, context we have mentioned like notebook. Okay. So it is displayed in a notebook, right? Right, everyone? Now let us see another one. This and all no need to type because these are just a representation of graphs only. Now we are representing in poster format. You just see it's enough, or you just listen, it is enough. Okay. From Matplotlib, import pyplot as plt variable. Next, import is Seaborn as SNS variable. Scatter plotting these 2 attributes. Poster, only this line only we are changing. Remember that. When I plot, you can see we are getting in the form of poster. Okay. Fine. Next. Color palette. Okay, it has a reputation for making plots and graphs more attractive using attractive colors and color combinations. In data visualization, color is necessarily involved and colors have an influence on the observer. Color plays an important role than any other aspects in the visualization. Whatever we see, it will be displayed. By attractive colors only, we will just focus, right? So when used effectively, color adds more value to that particular plot, particular graph. So here are some of the color palettes. Okay? Palette plotting. Next. Give this and see. We will get our output. Here also it will be displayed this. SMS should be small. Here, with the quotations. So we got the palette, right? Palette colors. Next. Seaborn as SMS. Pink and yellow, green. These colors will be visible. Okay. Next. Blue, I guess. Green and blue combinations. Understanding, everyone? Put the quotations clearly. On the code you can see, right? Green and blue combinations. Next one. Seaborn's plotting functions. So RELPLOT, rel plot. This function will provide access to several function access levels. So what it will show? It will show the relationship between every two variables basically. So what type of relational plots we are having? Scatter and line plot. Okay. So relational plot. So it will show the relation plot. We already learned about this relation plot. It will give me the relation between every two attributes or variables. Okay, fine. Let us go back to the presentation. Right? For every two attributes, it is showing me the relation. Right? So these are all relational plots. Next, histogram plotting, which is one of the important plot. Okay, histogram represents the data distribution by forming bins along with the range of data and then drawing bars to show the number of observations that will fall in each bin. Okay, fine. Distance plot we have applied. So what we have done here, import Seaborn as SNS variable. From Matplotlib, we are using pyplot module as PLT variable. Now loading the input data set. Next from that I am taking petal length as my attribute information that I am plotting in distance plot. When I run the code, you can see here this is not an error. Remember that this is just a warning which can be neglected. Okay. So petal length information with length, petal length, okay, that's it. Fine. It will be like more amount only, don't worry. These are simple examples, okay? We got this output. Next is bar plot, bar chart, okay? Plotting the data in bar chart, okay? The bar plot shows the survivors of Titanic crash based on category. So, based on which type of category we are implementing, it will display the information in bar plot. Copy the code. So what we have done, we have implemented Matplotlib library, Seaborn. Next, taking the formatting paper, like the plotting should be in the form of paper. Now loading the dataset into a variable. When I display that, you can see this is my input variable. At last, we will get total number of rows and columns. Okay, fine. Go back to the presentation. We are going to plot in bar chart. So copy this. So bar plotting the data here, we have taken two attributes information. Legend means a very small block which you can see on the graph now. Okay. So print Titanic columns as well. This is the graph. These are all the column names, columns of this Titanic variable. Okay. This we already got. Vertical bar plot. So use this code now. So you cannot type all the codes, don't worry, and please don't get bored enough. Okay? Fine. Import Matplot and Seaborn. Now load the dataset. Next, what you have to do is we are plotting the data in vertical bar plot. Okay? That we will see here. Vertical bar plot means plotting the bar charts in vertical line. Okay? This is a legend. These are the attributes. Okay, that is what we have mentioned here. Plotting the data in bar chart, gender and survived as my attributes data. Next, palette I have mentioned, order male and female. Next, size, saturation level, color indication. Okay, legend, plot the data. That's it. Next, horizontal. Till now we have done vertically. Now we will see horizontal plot. Okay. Still we have it. See, this is what horizontal bar plot. Okay. Next, we got this. Next one, count plotting the data. So it will just give me the total count of that particular attribute or information. Okay. So now it will get the count of that particular attribute. So we have taken the library files. Now what we have done? Going to plot my data in paper. Next, load the data set. Count load the information over here. When I plot the data, you can see first, second class and third class. Ooh. This is my column name actually. Where is this? Who column, right? This column, man, woman are there, right? So that is what we are plotting here in graph, that's it. First, second class, third class, okay? We are getting bored enough with the session now. Is it interesting? Yes, my dear participants, is it interesting? There might be some confusion, I accept that. Why? Because I am telling more examples. Why? Because they are having more functions, colors like that, right? So I want to show how we are implementing that, okay? What you can do, you can see the same video afterwards also. Slowly you can type the instructions. You can do for 10 hours the same program, right? So we have to finish it in 1 hour. That is what our agenda is, right? So I hope everyone is following. You please try to understand that particular instruction. It is enough. For suppose if you didn't understand that you put in comment box, that I will check and tell you. Okay? Fine. Next slide. Point plot. So it is used to show point estimates and confidence intervals using scatter plot graph. Scatter means plotting the data in point format or circle format. Okay? So a point plot represents an estimate of central tendency for a numeric variable by the position of scatter plot points and provides some indication of uncertainty around the estimate using error bars. Point plots can be more useful than bar plots for focusing comparisons between different levels of one or more categorical variable. Here is an example. Seaborn library file, Matplotlib file we have imported, loading the data. Next point, in the form of point plot, we are just plotting the data. You can see here, with the help of these points, I have plotted the information. Okay? Done everyone? Will you do this? Shall I wait for 1 minute? 5 lines are there. Okay, 2 minutes I will give you. Please type this example and run the code. How many of you got output? Please raise your hands. Yes, I am waiting for participants' answer. How many of you got output? Please raise your hands. Who is going to give me the first answer? Point plots. These are all point plots. We have seen it. This is another format. That's it. Next is regression plot. It is one of the functions in Seaborn that are used to visualize the linear relationship as determined through regression. We can see a slightly shaded portion around the regression line which indicates how much the points are scattered around a certain area. Plot a discrete x variable and add some jitter. We can see that areas where points are more densely populated have less shaded portion around the regression line, and shaded portion is more spread where the positions are more scattered. So see here, we will plot this. So you can see less shaded and more shaded regions right here, right? What it is describing, where more amount of data is plotted, where less amount of data is plotted. That is what it is describing. Okay, fine. Next, regression plot. This is also import Seaborn, loading the input data, regression plotting the information. We will get the output in this format. Next, heat map function. Heat map is nothing but plotting the data in graphical format for output representation purpose. Okay, it is a two-dimensional graphical representation of data where the individual values that are contained in the matrix are represented as colors. In Seaborn, we can make annotated heat maps which can be tweaked using Matplotlib library as per requirement. So here is an example. Copy. Yeah. Flights here means just a variable. Loading the input data of flights. Okay. So what we are taking month, year, passengers. So according to that data and storing in variables. Print the flights and with the help of heat map it should represent my graph now. So this is what. So this is what the output we generally get. Okay. This is all outputs only. Next, facet grid. Facet grid forms a matrix of panels defined by row and column by dividing the variables. Okay. Due to these panels, a single plot looks like multiple plots. It is very helpful to analyze all the combinations in two different or discrete variables. The advantage of using this is we can input another variable, okay, into the another plot. The above plot is divided into two plots on a third variable called diet, okay. For that we will see an example now. Yeah, import Seaborn as SNS variable, load the input data into a variable, next facet grid. Now plot the data in scatter plotting. When you run the code, you can see lunch time, dinner time, total bill. This is typical. Okay? Fine. Facet grid. This is about tip only. Okay, in the same example only. You can see in 4. Here we have visualized only 2 graphs. Here we have visualized 4. Next, scikit library file or sklearn library file. Why we are using this? I already told you at the starting of the session. Can anyone answer me? Yes. Anyone? Can anyone answer me? Sklearn library file is basically used for accessing of machine learning models, algorithms, anything. Okay? Fine. What is scikit library file? Scikit-learn is an open source data analysis library and the gold stands for machine learning in Python. Following other features. Algorithmic decision making methods like classification, regression that are identifying and categorizing data based on patterns. Predicting or projecting data values based on average mean of existing and planned data. Clustering, automatic grouping of similar data into datasets. Algorithms that support predictive analysis ranging from simple linear regression to a neural network pattern recognition. This and all type of algorithms or implementations we can access from scikit only. Okay. Interoperability with NumPy, Pandas and Matplotlib libraries. So machine learning you already know, right? AI, ML, we already discussed on the first day. In machine learning we generally deal with algorithms. Okay. To access that algorithms or to access any techniques over the algorithms, we use this scikit library file. Next, why we are using the scikit for machine learning especially? As a high-level library, it let us define a predictive data model in just a few lines of coding. So we can implement the algorithms within very few lines of coding. Okay, and then use that particular model to fit to our input data. It's a versatile and integrates well with other Python library files also, such as Matplotlib library for plotting, NumPy for array vectorization and Pandas for data frames. So machine learning concepts. So to use the scikit-learn, we should be aware of some of the terminologies in machine learning. Okay? First one, accuracy. Remember one thing, my dear participants. The main usage or the main implementation of machine learning is to predict the data. When we apply some algorithms to our input data, we have to predict the information in terms of accuracy level. Okay? That means we are going to find the score value. Okay? Next, in multi-class classification, accuracy is defined as correct predictions by total number of predictions. In binary classification, accuracy can be defined like true positive plus true negatives by total number of examples. Next, example data. Particular instance of data defined as X. There are two categories of data examples, labeled and unlabeled. Labeled means supervised, unlabeled means unsupervised. Generally, in machine learning, we do have different types of learning systems. Okay? Labeled data means supervised learning. Unlabeled data means unsupervised learning. Okay? Next, feature means an attribute or something like input variable. Okay? It is a measurable characteristic or property of a thing being observed. Every machine learning project has one or more features. Clustering is a technique that groups the data points based on their similarities. Each group is called a cluster. Next, machine learning concepts. So these are all algorithms actually. Kmx clustering, an unsupervised learning technique that looks like fixed number of means or centroids, which are data points, different data points, and assigns them to the nearest cluster. Remember one thing, these are all algorithms, right? We are not telling anything practically, just theoretically only we kept. Why? Because we will have one more session on machine learning on the same master class only. Okay, maybe on day 13 to 15 in between we will have, I guess, 12, 13, 14, 15. Somewhere we are having machine learning complete session. If you listen that session, I can tell you, guarantee that you can develop any project in machine learning. At least start developing any project in machine learning. Okay. So now just it is theoretically defined what that algorithms are. That's it. Okay. Is it fine? Yeah. Just I know time is getting late. Just give me 10 minutes. I'll finish it off. Okay. Okay now. Just wait for 10 more minutes, my dear participants. I'll wind up the session. Okay. And we are discussing about Kmx clustering. It is an unsupervised learning technique where we will cluster or group the data. Similar amount of data we are grouping into different categories. That's it. Next, model defines a relationship between the features of a label. For example, a rumor detection model that associates certain features associated with rumors. Okay. Next, regression versus classification. It is based on supervised. That is, when we deal with some labeled data, what are the types are there? Here you can see regression, classification. These are the techniques. How we are using them, that and all we will discuss further. Okay. Next, unsupervised deals with unlabeled data. You just remember this point. Next comes training and testing sets. Okay. So we give some amount of data for training purpose and some amount of data for testing purpose. And machine learning is about learning some properties of a labeled data set and then testing those properties against another data set. A common practice in machine learning is to evaluate the algorithm by splitting the data into two categories, that is training and testing. We call one of those sets as training and the other as testing. Next, example data set. Here is an example from sklearn library file, import datasets. Please type this instruction, everyone. Yes, my dear participants, please type the instructions. I will wait because we have come up to the last, okay? So there is no issue, I'll just wait. Please type the instructions along with me. It means I'll just wait. You can just type slowly also, okay? From sklearn, we are importing datasets. So load erase dataset. It means it will consider internally only this dataset. That's why I have taken this, okay? Next. Print the digits data. sklearn.get. Okay, 1 minute. Here small L, it should be small. Yeah, we got array of elements, right? And we have loaded the data. So this is what we got the output. That is nothing but it access to the array of elements. Next, loading an example dataset. So a dataset is a dictionary-like object that holds all the data and some metadata about the information, input data. This data is stored in the data member, which is a n samples or n features arrays. In case of digits dataset, digits data gives access to the features that can be used to classify the digits samples. Digits targets gives the ground truth for the digits dataset. That is the number corresponding to each digit image that we are trying to learn. Next, shape. We can directly give this images of 0. This is the shape. Shape function describes total number of rows and columns present in my input data. Okay. Next, learning and predicting. In case of digits datasets, the task is to predict given an image which digit it represents. Okay. So we are given samples of 10 possibilities. Okay. Now with the help of this, we are going to find the possibility. That's it. Next, learning and predicting. We will just see what type of output we got. So these are choosing the parameters of the model. That is nothing but I will explain in here itself. Taking the algorithm to a variable. Next, fitting the training data to that particular variable. Next, to predictions to be done. Okay. What I will do is I will just copy this code. Now, we got array size. Next, it's what we have given. Choosing the parameters of a model. So, we have taken the algorithm. Now predict function I am taking. Don't worry about this code, last code. What is the array we got? 8 only, correct, right? Okay. Conventions. Okay. Scikit-learn estimators follow certain rules to make their behavior more predictive. Okay. Unless otherwise specified, the input will be cast to floating point values. Here is an example. Copy the code. Yeah. Import NumPy and sklearn and kernel function. Random states we have given. Next, random from 10 to 2000. We can take any number of random states. Floating point values. X is not defined. Small x. We have to give here capital X. Here also. We got right. Floating point values. Right? Next, reheating and updating the parameters. Hyperparameters of an estimator can be updated after it has been constructed via the setParameters method. Calling fit function more than once will be override what was learned by any previous fitting. Refitting and updating the parameters. We have come up to the last just 5 minutes. Okay. Import NumPy as NP from sklearn dot datasets. Import load iris. Next, from sklearn dot svm support vector machine algorithm. We have used classifier and iris. We have loaded the iris in x and y variables. Next, I am taking algorithm into a variable, setting the parameters. 1 minute. Here, yeah. Remember the quotations should be single quotes. Next, predict parameters I am going to give. You don't need to type, okay? Please don't type, it will take time for you. Then, next, we got this array of 0, 0, 0, 0, right? Okay. Next is refitting and updating parameters. Hence, the default kernel RBF is the first change to linear via SVC. Okay. After that, what we have done? We are refitting the elements, refitting the parameters. Multi-class versus multi-labeled fitting. When using multi-class classifiers, the learning and prediction task that is performed is dependent on the format of the target data. Here is an example. X and Y we have considered, one versus rest classifier we have considered, and we are fitting the data and going to predict the information. Let us see with this example only. Copy the code. Yeah. We are going to get the array of elements. The same array of elements you got here. Right? That. Next, multi-class versus multi-label fitting. So in the above case, the classifier is a fit or 1D array of multi-class labels. And the predict method therefore provides corresponding multi-class predictions. It is also possible to fit upon 2D array of binary label indicators. Okay? We have taken the label binarizer and we are storing in a variable. Okay? Now for that, I am transforming Y information, Y variable information. When I predict, what type of output I should get? With this example, guys. From sklearn.preprocessing technique, I have imported the algorithm or multi-label binarizer. I have taken the values. Next, I am taking the multi-label binarizer into a variable by fitting into Y variable. Now, you can see array of elements have been displayed. This is what our output is. So, we have done with our final example. So, let me conclude this what we have learned today. Okay? Till now, what we have learned in today's session, we have learned Seaborn and scikit library files in detail. In Seaborn library file, we have learned something like color plotting. In that, what are the different styles available, how to implement that and all available in the following above slides. Okay. Next, we also have learned about sklearn scikit library file, where we have discussed about few machine learning algorithms, very basic, theoretically. Okay. But it is not perfectly like this session is enough, I cannot tell that, because I need to give you the clear information regarding that. Okay, so that I give you on machine learning separate class we are having on this data science. Okay, where we will be discussing about machine learning models like that. On that day you will get idea. Okay, next what we have discussed this much content means only examples, that's it. Because I cannot wait for each and every participants through the session, right? That's why I have explained each and every example by copy paste, that's it. Because we cannot type each and every code within 1 hour, right? So to make you understand clearly, we have given the examples. The same examples we have executed in Jupyter Notebook. So this is what all about today's session. Generally, what I feel that my participants may be troubled today means first thing, time might not be sufficient. Okay, that is okay, that is common in every class for us, right? The second thing is we are having huge number of examples. Next we have it, I think so most of the people got stuck with installation also. Don't worry, you just revise this session. At the starting itself I have explained you about installation of Anaconda. Okay, you try doing that. If you are unable to get that, you just let me know by tomorrow. Okay, then we will discuss about that. Okay, I hope it is clear. So I know I have taken more time, but please don't get so serious about that time consumption, because you need to learn something more means you need to give some time as well, right? Fine. So you can even follow us on Instagram, Telegram, YouTube and podcast with the links over there. Next, most of the people might be already registered as per my graphical analysis. So if you are really interested, still anyone is left over this, you can just listen this. How to enroll to 1 month internship. Actual fees is 999 rupees, but if you use this particular coupon like welcome DS2, you can register with 597 itself. The link is given over here. Actually the first batch is still 26th only, but you still register. As per that, we will check and tell you. Okay. Right. So last but not least, I thank all my dear participants. Before that, let me know still how many are having queries. If you are still having queries, please note it down on a paper, and in the next coming sessions also you can just tell me. Okay. So we'll wind up the session. If you really liked the session, if you really feel that you have learned something new in this session, please do like, comment, share, and even subscribe to pantechelearning channel to get more interesting updates on more various technologies. Okay? And I would like to thank all my dear participants who have come before me to the session. Thank you, all of you. Have a very nice time. Have a delicious dinner and good night everyone. Thank you all.